What's the worst case of injustice you've seen? It happened my junior year of high school to a quiet kid named Marcus. He wasn't part of any clique, just a lanky, soft-spoken guy who kept to himself and drew anime characters in his notebooks, the kind of student teachers forget about 10 minutes after graduation. Marcus had one remarkable trait, though. He was brilliant at math, not just good, genuinely gifted. Our calculus teacher, Mr. Dawson, was the type who'd been teaching the same way for 30 years and resented students who questioned his methods. When Marcus would politely suggest alternative solutions, Dawson's face would tighten into this weird grimace. "If you're so smart," he'd snap, "why don't you teach the class?" But Marcus would just mumble, "Sorry," and sink lower in his seat. Things escalated during midterms week. I was sitting behind Marcus when Dawson handed back our tests. Marcus got an F. I glimpsed his paper. Nearly every answer was marked wrong despite having work that looked correct. "Mr. Dawson?" Marcus raised his hand timidly. "I think there might be a mistake on my test." Dawson's face flushed. "Are you questioning my grading, Phillips?" "No, sir, it's just," Marcus pointed to a problem. "The derivative here is correct. I used the chain rule and you used an unauthorized method." Dawson snatched the test away. "I showed one approach in class and that's what I expected to see." "But the answer is right," Marcus insisted, his voice barely audible. Dawson leaned in, his voice ice cold. "This is my classroom, my methods. Your approach shows disrespect for my authority." The injustice was so blatant that even I, a perpetual rule follower, felt sick. Marcus had tears in his eyes but blinked them back furiously. After class, I overheard Dawson talking to another teacher. Got to nip that attitude in the bud, too smart for their own good. Marcus's midterm grade tanked his average. His parents, immigrants who didn't speak much English, were devastated. They grounded him, took away his drawing supplies, and signed him up for extra tutoring they couldn't afford. I watched him shrink over the following weeks. He stopped raising his hand, stopped suggesting alternatives, just copied Dawson's methods verbatim, even when they were inefficient. Something in me snapped. I wasn't even friends with Marcus, but this was wrong. I gathered copies of his test, textbook references proving his methods were valid, and examples from MIT's online calculus course showing multiple approaches to the same problems. Then I approached our assistant principal, Ms. Chaudhry. "This isn't just about grades," I told her. "It's about crushing someone's love for learning." Ms. Chaudhry, thank God, took it seriously. She brought in the math department head to review Marcus's test. Within days, his grade was corrected from an F to an A-. But the damage was done. Even with his grade fixed, Marcus never participated the same way again. He'd learned that being right wasn't enough. You had to be right in exactly the way authority wanted. During graduation the following year, Marcus received a scholarship to study engineering. When his name was called, Dawson clapped with this tight smile like he'd had something to do with Marcus's success rather than nearly destroying it. The real injustice wasn't just one bad grade, it was watching someone's intellectual curiosity, maybe the most valuable thing a student can have, get systematically crushed because it threatened a teacher's ego.